Hi everybody, Army P here for eXplorminate, and welcome back to my ongoing Let's Play of Surviving Mars. I almost said a different game. Surviving Mars. Here we are. And we are going to be getting our first colonist down. So I took some time just to kind of shore up a little bit, and what I didn't realize is that I didn't put down the one prefab that I wanted, so I bought a prefab, if you remember from our last rocket trip. We go into production, and I got a metal machine parts factory. We're going to put that right here. Now the reason the machine parts factory is very important is, if you can see here in my case here, my machine parts, I've got a maintenance of 0.8. So my machine parts are just naturally going to go low, and I can't do anything to replenish that except for buying more from Mars or from Earth. But everything else is 0.01 or 0.1, sorry. So I'm not really worried about that. So I want my first factory. Oh, what I got here?
Research complete.
Transport optimization. Okay, that's for my thing. What are we going to do? We're going to get a polymer factory. Sounds like a good idea to me. So I'm going to want to be replacing that as quickly as I can. I'm also going to buy some more probes, so we'll worry about that later. I've re-got my concrete factory going, and we should be good to go. So I'm going to show you what we're going to be choosing for our first passengers and our first colonists on Mars. So you can see here that none of these locations are working because, of course, they got no people in it. So we're going to want some engineers working on our machine factory. We're going to need some medics in our infirmary and some botanists. So without further ado, let's get this Andreas back to Earth, and let's choose our first passenger rocket. Now, you can choose different age groups, and you can say yes or no to them. So obviously, we're going to want no children or no youth, and no seniors. So we're going to want some adults or some middle-aged people. That seems fair. Specializations. We're going to want engineers. We're going to want geologists, of course, botanists, and medics. That sounds about fair. I had forgotten that we needed a geologist for any type of mining expeditions. So don't care about the sex, perks. I think this is fun. I'm just going to leave it random. I mean, you could choose to have workaholics, I guess, which would be nice. Or whatever, composed. I guess we should probably pick these for our first ones, but like gamers or nerds, we don't really need to worry about too much about that. And the quirks. Yeah, that looks good to me. So, our capacity is 12 people. Oops, I think I just messed that up. That's okay, should be good to go. Okay, so we're going to launch our first rocket. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to spend a little bit of money that we have, because I think we got $5.4 billion to spend. And we're going to shore up some of our resources. So machine parts are a little bit low, so I want to make sure that we get a proper amount of machine parts. And we're going to enjoy... Oh yeah, because I've already got a polymer factory, but I don't have enough people right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to I'll have all three of our rockets on the go right now. So we've got one coming to Earth, one coming to Mars, and we got a cargo rocket. I want probably 4 more drones. I think food, we also got, our passenger ship comes with some food, so we should be fine, but I think I'm just going to take 15 just to be sure. Metals I'm okay with. Polymers are fine. I want some more machine parts because they're always valuable. Some electronics. And I wonder if there's any prefabs that I want. Nah, this looks good. Then we're going to launch those. So I'm a little bit skimpy, but it's only because I don't want to lose out on it. Besides, we've got lots of everything else. Now, let's take a rare metal extractor and put it right there. That rare metal extractor is going to extract some rare metals that we can use for fabrication, also to sell back to Earth, which is going to be very important. That being said, I think I am going to... Where are you right now? What do you got? 45? Looks like your battery's running a bit low. Hopefully it won't get too crazy. I want to see what we're going to be looking at for power generation. So I think we're going to build a couple more solar panels. And we're going to build a couple more wind turbines. which will be fine. And I think what we're going to build is one more power accumulator, because you can see here that even though my capacity is quite high, my max output is only 20 power, 20 energy. It's actually power, but anyway, it's capacity, it's potential capacity. So I'm probably going to build another one because I think that my dome has a total of 15. So it means it basically could keep the dome up and not much else, where if I built two, I feel like we'd be in better shape. It only costs a polymer, and polymer is not... I'm not too scared of that, because polymers are something that we're going to be building relatively soon. There we go. And should be good to go there. Everything's cooked up and ready to go, so we are pretty close to getting our first passengers. This is going to be exciting. Our first eXplorminators coming from Earth, gamers in hand, forex and strategy connoisseurs. Better call maintenance on this one. And here they come. Okay, so this should be ready for a passenger. 12. Oh, before we do that, we're just going to do one quick thing. And this is something that I've just noticed really helps. Putting your food storage close to your front entrance of where you're going to land. So what do we got? 12 passengers. Here they go. Our very first passengers from Earth to Mars. And I'm going to show you how to dictate workspace.
Resources are
full of hope and determination. The first founders have set foot on the red planet.
The next 10 souls will be full of difficulty and danger. Souls are Earth days, just in case you were wondering on the lingo. Essentially, I can't bring anybody else to the red planet until we can prove that we're good to go for the next 10 days.
milestone achieved.
Yeah, I'm a milestone, baby. All right. Suggested research lab. I actually don't think that's a good suggestion.
Colonists have arrived.
I wonder if we can see our colonists. Where are they? Sometimes they show that. I notice sometimes they show it and sometimes they don't. It's too bad. Oh, it looks like they're already there. I must have missed it. Okay, so we've got 12 people. Now you can see different every different color has a different coordination. So you can see here that yellow is the engineer, straight up Star Trek. Blue is your botanist, straight up Star Trek. Red will be security, which is straight up Star Trek. And we've got some engineers, etc. If you put people that don't have a specialization in the wrong area, they tend to get ticked off. So you can see here that I've got, oh, my botanist is in a yellow. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought that it always worked out. Okay, so you can see the botanist's work performance is high because, of course, they're doing what they love, what they're trained to do. And it increases their work performance. You can see the rating is 74. Got a couple people here, got there. And we've got people working. So everything's good to go. And as I start to increase the amount of people that I have here, because I've only got my 12, right? You'll notice that I can have different work shifts. So I can have them working like literally all night and all day. I'm not going to, because I know what it's like to work for a slave driver. And no one wants that jazz. And then I think I'm going to create a dumping ground, a dump site. Right here. So now I'm going to be extracting rare minerals, and the rare minerals will go rare mineral deposit right here. It's good to go. So you can see here that my drones, oh wait, what are we doing with my drones? Should they go back to here? Because I think we had 4. We should have some drones. I believe I brought some drones, did I not? Oh no, that was passengers. Okay, my bad. So we will bring our second probe. You can see here our second rocket is going to come down right here, and it had some goodies in for us, machine parts and some drone probes. So, ooh, that's not good. Looks like we're gonna have to bring that a little closer. Okay, so we got some funding. So that's another key that you have to do. You notice that I just launched my rocket and it's outside of the drone there. Whoopsie. Not thinking they're Army P. Not thinking. Whoa! Imagine if I just would have done that. That's hilarious. Where that sensor is terrible. Okay, so machine parts, electronics, food. We are going. Is that fuel? Okay, that is fuel. Now, where is the drones? Because I thought I brought some drones with me. They should have some drones. It does. I don't want them commanded by the rocket ship. I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to... Apparently the drones work for the rocket ship? That's too bad. Because this one doesn't have any. I thought that I could transfer the drones. Maybe not. That's a damn shame. I thought that I could bring the drones down and attach it to my drone hub. Broken idle. Yeah, well. Okay, well it unloads... I guess the idea is that if I want to bring drones onto my ship, it unloads the ship so that the drones everywhere else can, you know, work on other things. Like rocket fuel or something. There we go. Okay, so I got a building not working. What's wrong?
Meteor shower incoming.
Ooh, wow. I've got a meteor shower coming in 17 hours. Not good. What's wrong with here? Oh, it's because I put them as high priority. Start dumping into the dump site, guys. Come on. There we go. Now, why isn't it... These guys are carrying dumps... Are they carrying concrete or dump site? Oh, I see. It's because it wasn't the dump site.
Research complete.
Okay, so what do we got? Low G hypersynthesis. What was that? We got our evaporators, which are fine. What was I researching there? Okay, so we can build polymers. This is where we're going to go next. Cargo space has been up by 10,000. That seems fine. Generates 100 per soul for each RC Explorer. That seems like a good one. We're going to take that. Oh, no, never mind. Engineers and geologists have plus 10 performance will work in their specialty. That's where we're going to take it. Okay, what do we got here? Now what's the problem? That distance is hurting us a little bit, actually. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put a little concrete depot right here. That'll be easier for them to... if they choose to. So, as I was bragging about the RC unit. So anyway, we got a disaster coming, a meteor storm in 9 hours, which is not good. Because I actually don't know if they hit, what happens if they hit one of our rockets. Okay, so I will show you what our production is, okay? One thing I don't like is for food, it tells us that we've got 22, we're producing none, and we're consuming none. It's confusing. That's one thing I do not like about this interface thus far, is because it should show us that if current standards with the amount of colonists we have, we should be consuming this much food, and we're making this much food. So sometimes it becomes a little bit of a mixed bag. So it's neither here nor there. But that being said, if we look at this otherwise, you can see here that we are creating 3 machine parts with no machine maintenance now. That's been taken care of, and everything else is good to go. So it kind of takes into effect how much our part maintenance is, which is oh so strange, because these should have maintenance for that. Seems a little bit off. Normally it's pretty darn accurate. Okay, so where's our anomaly? Wow, that is far away. We're not going to go there. Oh, looks like you can see here from this location, we're lucky. It looks like the meteors are hitting north of our colony. It's a remaining duration of 1 more day. So as long as they don't go south, we should be pretty good to go. I'm glad I didn't see that RC unit down there. So, speaking of which, time to move, RC unit. I'm going to get you to create a second metal deposit, please. All right. Okay, you're good to go. We've launched you. Launch. Is there something on board? What's on board? Oh. Yeah, resources will be launched. That's fine. Okay, so they gathered. You can see here that the rocket ship took one of my precious metals. I think I'll get like 30 million from it. It's not a lot of money. You kind of have to have a full load. So that's neither here nor there. But you have to click this button. It allows and forbids exports. The reason I want to save up my rare earth metals is because eventually I need those rare earth metals. I shouldn't say rare earth metals. They're. I want to make sure I got this rare metals. These rare metals are very, very important because they are used in electronics. So I need them for both resources and for money. So it's kind of a tit for tat. But as it stands right now, I think we've got, you know, what, 2? Yeah, like 1. So even though we sent it in the ship, it's not the end of the world. So how's our meteor showers? It looks like we're still haven't had any issues. It's not too shabby though. Concrete's going. This is so strange that it's doing that. It's taking it all the way to this dig site, and I don't know necessarily why. It's very unusual. Normally they do. The logic's pretty sound, generally speaking. So it's a little unusual for that to occur. And what do we got for metals while I'm at it? 175. So it looks like we are keeping up with what we've, you know, the concerns we've had for metal wise. But you can see here as I start to kind of scan, it does not look like I have a lot of metals that are just laying around anymore. So it actually might be our priority to start looking at it might be our priority to start looking at making a second dome all the way over here just so we can get some metal. But we'll cross that road when we get to it. Because as it stands right now, we're using metal for making machine parts, for keeping solar panels up and running, our water supply. It's a lot going on. A lot going on. Oh, I'm really glad that meteor shower would. I mean, can you imagine if we would have picked up there? Good, that would have been bad. Bad news, Browns, I tell you. Yes, his food consumption 2. Yeah, we'll get the decorations later, but
Funding
food.
received.
We'll get some. Yeah, okay. So there you go. 25 million for the rare metals export. So it can add up really good. I mean, 25 million is really not that much money. You can see here that, like, you know, prefab location is probably about 200 million. So essentially a full, you know, transport could, you know, land you a decent enough money so you don't have to sweat it so much. I think that what we're going to do is we're going to get our next set of colonists down. And we're going to be in great shape because we're going to start building polymer. And I think after we build polymer, we're going to see how difficult it's going to make the trek to over here, because this high grade metal is just, it makes me, I want that. Unless we can find something up here, but I just don't think so. Unfortunately, we're going to have to spread our colony out just a little bit to try to get as much as we possibly can. 1.2 a day. That's just simply not acceptable.
Active research.
Okay.
Research complete.
Productivity training. So it looks like everybody's a little bit happy. Assigned simponents for performance. No, that's all good. I want to generate some more research. That's what I want. So it looks like our storm's pretty much at an end. It's good. I wonder if each one of those has metal in them. I'd love to find that out. Because you imagine, look at the shower. It would have been tons and tons of available metals. All right. Okay, everybody. I think I'm actually going to call this episode just a little bit earlier than I typically do. Normally, I like to spread it around a little bit to about the 25-minute part, but that's neither here nor there. I think the reason is because we've, oh, there it goes. That's weird. I was just looking at the probes here, or the drones. bringing some of them to the waste rock locations and other ones not. But as it stands right now, we're kind of going to be looking at expansion. So we've got this colony up and running. We could have a few more facilities that we can build and start to look at building a polymer factory and etc. But the real danger that we have is going to be crossing that ravine and making some type of establishment over here. And I can kind of show you some of the tricks and situations I use to get that accomplished. But in the meantime, this is pretty much a solid episode. We've got our colonists up and running. Oh, look at this.
That takes guts, to say the least.
So it looks like the founder, Therese Griffin, has the enthusiastic trait. And we can view with her with all of her stats. So she's an adult, no specialization. You can see what she's happy with. She visited a grocer, what she's sad about, things like that. But you can see here that we already get our, right to her health. On the bar below it says that she's healthy, which gets her +5 to her health and to her... Jeez. Sorry. To her health and to her sanity, because we've got that awesome breakthrough. So, and we produced our first set of food. Hopefully we're in good shape here when it comes to producing food. Always makes me nervous. No matter. Okay, everybody, this has been Army P from eXplorminate, and I hope you guys follow us along as we continue on looking at the expansion of our second dome. In the meantime, I'll keep you posted on any type of changes that might occur, but I think we're going to just kind of play a little bit ones off camera to kind of show you the next big milestone. Till then, I'll see you in the next episode.